my, that's a wild Zach. Whoa.
My bad.
You know what?
It's a new time, it's an adjustment. My bad.
We're all adjusting here, and I'm just trying to figure out what I'm adjusting to, but I'm adjusting to you all. Hey, how we doing? Welcome to the Ryan Ripken Show. Hey, happy Monday, everyone. It has been a wild past week. It was a wild weekend of sports activity, and guess what? It's going to be another jam-packed week here on the Ryan Ripken Show with our new start time, 3 to 5 here on YouTube, X, and Facebook. You can obviously listen on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. But we appreciate you guys. And if you are new, hit that like and subscribe channel. Well, last week we had a Rolodex of guests.
Oh, yeah.
We're starting off this week. We got 2. Well, there's been a lot of Ravens chatter. So later on at 3:30, beat writer for the Ravens for The Athletic, Jeff Zrebiec, is going to join us here to talk about a few specific parts of this John Harbaugh situation, but also who's the next in line here. There's a lot of candidates. How do you decipher it? Who knows? And Eric DeCosta and Steve Bisciotti are going to speak tomorrow at the press conference to kind of address some of this. So let's talk to Jeff first. And then one of the most viral moments out there came from the Jaguars-Bills presser with Liam Cohn. And there was one reporter named Miss Lynn Jones from the Jacksonville Free Press. She had a very heartwarming message, but it's created a lot of buzz, and a lot of people are split on it. So you know what? We thought, why don't we bring on Miss Jones today? She will join us in the 4 o'clock window. And then to start this off here, we got to get a little baseball talk because there was a massive move. And if you're a Chicago fan, it was a hell of a weekend for you because the Bears have one of the biggest comebacks in NFL postseason history, and whammy, Alex Bregman is going to the Cubs, which then brings this question. What's next in the AL East? And why is it that one outfielder could be the next domino that falls here and is going to really shake up what's going to happen next? But that's a lot to talk about. I got behind the sticks, Brad. They heard you laughing. How we doing?
Yeah, well, because there's a lot going on at the beginning of the show. But I saw a lot of people commenting about Miss Lynn Jones. And it would just excited me to hear you announce that she was going to be on the show because there's already people talking about it. So, hey, we're here for the people, We are here for the people. And so I'm excited for one to have her on because for me, you guys saw it. We were talking in our group chat. I was actually texting Rocco as a former sports reporter about, hey, what's the big deal about this? And then Rock was even just like, I really don't understand why there's such a big deal going on. He's like, I wouldn't do it personally, but that's not to say that what she didn't do wasn't completely awesome. So I'm curious to see what she has to say of her reactions towards everything. But Zach, I see you smirking over there. What's going on?
I'm just picturing Rocco saying exactly what she said. And if it was Rocco who said it, I'd be in there. I'm like, I want to punch this kid. When she said it, I was like, oh, this is awesome.
It's definitely different
because it's Rocco. In my head, I'm like, I'd want to punch that kid. I'm sure Liam Cohen would be like, who is this guy? What is this
I think
kid?
The person that delivered that message definitely it matters. The person who delivers that message definitely matters.
Oh, 1,000%. Because if Rocco would have delivered it too, it would have been
in the most douche way possible.
It would have been, hey, great season. You messed it up at the end there, and the Bills won. And you made a lot of mistakes there when you should have moved on, but I want to let you know you had a great year, and I hope it doesn't sting. He would say something like that.
Yeah.
And then you'd want to throw his ass out there. But also, again, above all, in this day and age, and I'm going to save my thoughts for later. I'm going to save them for Miss Jones because I think however you feel about so many different ways, the message was pure. And I thought that is something, and you guys know here, Zach, Brad, and Nate's going to find out here soon. Intern Nate in the background. Hey, what's up, Nate? So what you're going to find out is growing up, and especially for players, coaches, there's so many moments where you don't feel as you're being recognized as the individual or the human. You're being recognized as just a person and not having the emotions around it. That was a crushing loss for Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And in a moment of this, it was a really heartfelt message. And I thought that was really cool because it was unique. I'll save the rest of it for later, but that's the start off this show. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We will get into the football talk. Don't worry. But Steve, I see the super right there. And Steve's saying right there, I like Minter, Kubiak, Flores, and Joe Brady for your top 4.
Ooh.
Hey, how you doing? Well, there's a lot of candidates, and we're going to ask Jeff about that and a whole lot more. But, fellas, let's start with baseball because a big move finally happened. Maybe not the move that everyone wants in Baltimore, where it's where's the pitching?
Yeah.
Because that's still being figured out. But one of the biggest bats is off the table. And not only off the table, he's leaving the AL East. He's leaving the American League. Alex Bregman chooses the Chicago Cubs on a 5-year deal, $175 million, Zach.
With 75 deferred. Correct, I believe 75
Yes,
deferred because I know
believe
Red
so.
Sox fans were pissed about that
Million.
part. Yeah, I hit it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, on
Get
top
him out of here. Get him out of here.
So the Red Sox
Fine
they
by
lose
me.
out. The deal, no trade clause for Alex Bregman as well. No opt-outs in this clause. But you know what was really interesting? There was a clip from Alex Cora, the manager, like yesterday, earlier in the day or 2 days, whenever it was the day that he signed. So 2 days ago or 3 days. And they said the ball's in his court. That was like what Alex Cora said. Ball's in Alex's court. We'll see what Bregman does. And I think the deal that's being reported out there was that Bregman turned down $10 million less from the Red Sox, but the Red Sox apparently were holding off on giving him a no trade clause. But regardless of it, hey, Chicago, man, have a freaking weekend.
Yeah. Congrats, Chicago.
Oh
Congrats.
my goodness.
Chicago having a day.
Having a day,
Having a weekend.
having a night. That was incredible, Zach.
I will say, very fun little tidbit of that is Alex Bregman wears the number 2 because that was the position he was drafted in the MLB draft. So he has as a reminder that he isn't number 1. And now he'll be sharing the left side of the infield with the guy who was selected 1 pick ahead of him in Dansby Swanson. So love this for the Cubs. Cubs are going to have a good team. That offense, it relies, I think, on that PCA bounce back, but a very deep offense. Excited to see what they can do, but man, does this add a lot of questions to the very disappointing already season. Boston Red Sox are the only team to not sign a major league free agent. Fun fact. So it is.
Is that fun?
Yeah.
Should I ask Jared Carradas how?
Good. Yes, actually. you should.
Not in. It's not fun in Boston, but I will say they've made moves. Obviously, Wilson Contreras, Sonny Gray. They have, I think, more on the horizon. They have to figure out the outfield log jam and stuff and make room that way. But
yeah, but
they got to go all in on a Bo Bichette or something.
That's what I was going to say, because between all the drama with like Devers and everything that happened last year, you would think that Boston would have like done something, be like, hey, listen, we know that was kind of a messed up situation. We're going to make up for it here. And they haven't done that. They've only lost big guys. So like that, to me, Zach, I think something big needs to happen, or else the Boston fans are going to riot.
I mean, they traded Devers to make Bregman happy.
And the bigger part of all of this, though, for me, if you're just, however the reports, if Devers or Bregman being upset, blah, 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 the reality is you traded Devers. And you traded him, and you have Bregman for 1 year, and he opts out and he leaves. That's the bigger part, is so you trade a top 10 bat. That's what Devers is. He's a top 10 bat.
Yep.
And then you have Bregman for 1 year and you lose him. And now you're hoping the trade that you made, that those pieces that you got are going to pan out. Because if not, for the last year for the Red Sox and beyond. Now, I do want to point this out about Alex Bregman, and I see from our channel members, appreciate you guys. But Sam was saying, holy overpay for a 32-year-old. Bregman will be 32 when the season starts. Here's my thing when you want to go out and get a guy, and you're looking at a value. Bregman is what I like to call a gamer. You want me to explain that for a second, Zach?
Please.
Well, yeah, if you said no, I was going to do it anyway. So the gamer component is I don't have to worry about you on the field, off the field. You have a professionalism of what you do, and guess what? You're going to show up. And what Bregman does, if he's not hitting that day, he's playing the position at a high level. And vice versa, and then whammy, he does it both at the same time. So Bregman, for me, is a trendsetter. He's a gamer that's going to post up each and every day on both sides of the ball, and that is what Chicago is getting. And for Boston, they're going to have to go digging here because you were hoping he was going to sign. Now what? And now you're in a crowded race of Bregman's gone, but now the other infielder you have left is Bo Bichette. And I know they said Nico Horner could be on the move from the Cubs, but you're going to have to woo the Cubs.
Yeah.
He's not just going to give away a player with value for nothing. So kind of goes into this, Brad. This was our like American League baseball talk of the day. Alex Bregman is now off the market. Who is next to follow here? And there's a lot of big names. And you're probably wondering, is it going to be the pitching side? Well, to me, Brad, it's not the pitching side in the American League East. That's going to sort itself out.
Yep.
Nothing's changed on the status quo there. But the Bregman move has put pressure on the Boston Red Sox. It has put pressure now on the New York Yankees. Toronto is going to stay aggressive. So what happens? Well, there's a couple names. There's Kyle Tucker, who there are some teams that are reporting out there of, all right, Kyle Tucker's identifying some squads, not the Yankees, not the Red Sox. Well, how about the other outfielder that thinks his value is just as high as Kyle Tucker? Cody Bellinger. That's the name that everyone is looking at now, because that was the guy that everyone said New York wanted, but there's been issues. And I think, Zach, Brad, we have a clip from John Morosi talking about Cody Bellinger. So why don't we play that clip, and we're going to keep talking about it on the other side.
Waiting for others, or waiting for Cody, and we had heard they were back and forth with the Yankees, and then we heard over the weekend that the Yankees think he will sign elsewhere. Does the Bregman deal have any effect on Cody, or is that not a thing?
Lauren, it does, because when you look at the age difference, Bregman gets a 5-year deal, and Bregman is 2 years older than Bellinger. I've always said, don't do math on TV, but 5 plus 2 is 7.
Harvard.
So,
you're good.
I know. Oh, one time I messed up. I messed up a calculation on the air, and I got like 5 messages. Morosi, Harvard is embarrassed. So okay, all right. So I got to make sure I never do that, but I do know 5 plus 2 is 7. So you look at it, and potentially Bellinger, all of a sudden, looking at a 7-year deal, is not totally outside the realm of possibility. He is very athletic. He is a plus defender. He certainly does, in fairness, bring a bit more defensive value than what Bichette does, just based on what he's able to do and the athleticism that he brings. You drive in 98 runs, the impact he had on Aaron Judge, the fact that if you look at wins above replacement, in certain calculations, he had a better platform year than Kyle Tucker. So whether it's the Mets, the Yankees, I still believe good interest from New York, and the Bregman contract, Lauren, gives that boost for Bellinger to argue that he, in fact, deserves the greater term. If not 5 years, then at least to say 6, because you consider where his overall trajectory is, the age he is in comparison to Bregman.
So there's a lot to unpack there. And John Morosi, friend of the show, friend of the program. Love you, John. The reality is he is right on that. And this is what's going to be fascinating, because we heard reports that the Yankees were saying, okay, the average annual value, AAV, was way too high for Cody Bellinger. That we were seeing reports of $37, $38 million. And so you go, that's too high. But then once this deal gets done with Bregman, now you're going, well, wait a minute. It's a guy that can play multiple positions. Clearly the Yankees want him, so other teams would want him. But teams don't want to give deals past 5 years. And I think that's the part that's sticking out here. And there's I think John Heyman reported this recently, saying the Yankees are believed to have offered Bellinger around 155 for 5 years. Bregman just got 5 for 175. So I'm really curious, guys, what's going to happen. But I think pressure's on the Yankees to try to get this deal done. But does it open up the door for someone else, Zach? Because I feel like Cody Bellinger, he might be pissed off. He might want to go somewhere else. And I think that's where people are trying to identify that right now.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be a very intriguing kind of next few weeks where we see, because, hey, it was just November, then it was just beginning of December, then it was just the holidays. Now it's January 12th. I mean, we are reaching mid-January. In less than a month, pitchers and catchers report. So these things have to hurry up. They don't want these to go into spring training. And if you're looking add a guy like Cody Bellinger. If I'm the New York Yankees, he's got to be the number one priority to get back, because where's your offense without him? You're relying on Jazz Chisholm to keep up his great numbers. Volpe's got to take a massive step back to where he was offensively, especially defensively. Giancarlo Stanton, are you going to rely on him to be healthy? Obviously, Wells is got potential. Ben Rice has potential, but you're hoping that they can reach that. Cody Bellinger was one of the best run producers in your lineup all last season. 98 RBIs, 29 homers, 160 hits. He had a 5.1 WAR with a 272 batting average and an 813 OPS. If they lose him, I don't know where they go. And now you talk about the contract stuff. I think that this now allows Cody Bellinger he's going to get at least 6 years, because he is younger than Bregman. And we talk about this in the pitching side all the time of like, hey, Dylan Cease, let's call it what it is. He screwed over the pitching market, not for the teams or not for the players, for the teams. Because now every starting pitcher is going, hey, Dylan got 7.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I not getting 7 if Dylan got 7? So we talk about things bringing the market back down, humbling the market back into its proper place. I think Alex Bregman, 5-year deal at 32 years old, it now sets up where I can almost guarantee you Kyle Tucker's getting 7-8 years now. I mean, he's 4 years younger than Bregman. He's at least touching 7. I think Cody Bellinger, he's going to want at least 7 because of that. And if that is the big thing that is holding down or holding back the Yankees from being able to sign somebody like Bellinger, I think they're in trouble, because now the market is more leaning towards, hey, 7 years isn't horrible. 7 years kind of fits what the market price is right now. You have Pete Alonso, who is coming in. He gets 5 years, and he's 31 years old. Bregman gets 5 years. He's 32. If you're Tucker at 28 years old, I'm going, okay, I deserve at least 7. And if Tucker's getting 7, I'm Bellinger, and I'm going, okay. When you compare our numbers over the past 3 years, I've played in 50 more games or 40 more games than he has. I have almost 175 more hits than he has over the last 3 years. I have 1 less home run than he has over the last 3 years. I have 30 more RBIs over the last 3 years. I have a better batting average over the last 3 years. I compare myself, and I'm comparable statistically to Kyle Tucker. Do I think he gets the number or the dollar figure? I don't think so. But Cody Bellinger, I think, is set up very well to it makes sense why he and Boris want 6 years. And I think that is really screwing up the Yankees, because I don't think they want to commit to that long.
No, and here's the other part. You mentioned all these stats, and I agree. Belly has increased his value significantly the last couple of years. But the problem what still is in the back of people's minds is what happened in LA down the stretch, where he went from MVP to what happened to this guy. Because if Belly didn't go through that, guess where he would be playing still? He'd be playing with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
But there was questions of, could he get back on track? Now, I am buying Cody Bellinger on that bounce back. But you're wondering, Zach, and I think that's where the hesitancy is, will he go back to any of that in the future? Will he regress? That's what teams are worried about from an offensive standpoint. Now, on Kyle Tucker, on the other hand, Tucker, to me, he just got to stay on the field. That dude stays on the field, he's gonna bang. That dude can hit. He's got the upside, but he is going to have to be out there and post up year in and year out, which I think he's capable of. So what's going to be fascinating here is, I know some Orioles fans are going, well, wait a minute, well, Cody, come to Baltimore. Cody Bellinger ain't coming to Baltimore.
No.
But the pressure now is on New York to get this done, because if they lose out on that, the only one I see them pivoting to, Zach, if they're not going to commit to Kyle Tucker, it looks like Bo Bichette is the only one. But then the Red Sox need to try to go get a guy, and that's Bo Bichette over there. Or it's the other Suarez, the Bat Suarez, the one that was hitting home runs left and right this past year for the Diamondbacks and Mariners. He's an option for teams, but I think that's an option for the Red Sox. So the Cody Bellinger piece here, if the Yankees miss out on him, if it's not Bichette, I don't know who they get. And I think that's the part where it's getting down to the wire here for New York. And you're sitting back, if you're Baltimore, you feel really good about where you're at. You get one more pitcher here, you feel like you're completing your offseason. Same can't be said about the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. The Boston Red Sox have made moves. They have made trades, but they have a large gap in their offense. And above all, guys, they lost a leader in Bregman. And I know people want to go, oh, Houston, no, miss me with that shit. Alex Bregman is an impact on the field, off the field, in the locker room. That can be a big loss that you have to fill here. And this is going to be interesting to see what happens here, because we are 1 month away from spring training starting and being underway. And a lot of teams have so many question marks. And ironically, right now, the two teams that have the most question marks of what they're going to do next is two of the highest profile teams in all of Major League Baseball, the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. But hey, if you are new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We do this live on YouTube, X, and Facebook here, but we're also on the podcast platform. So if you're on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast, hit that like button or follow, subscribe, whatever it is. It's great for us, and we appreciate you guys. And I saw that we had some issues with people that are wondering if you're a first-time streamer. I want to answer two questions for you. Number one, we are not in the warehouse at Camden Yards.
Yeah,
we're not on site at any of that.
Baltimore has the same brick no matter what building you're in.
Yeah, there's a lot of brick everywhere.
You see, go to any row home. It's the same brick.
Some great brick up here.
Yeah, it's the same brick.
But we are based in the Baltimore region. Yes, that is correct. And also seeing about, if you're viewing us, we have the horizontal and the vertical, meaning we have it for both. Your phone is the vertical, the horizontal is the other one. So if it's out of sync for you, find which one is best for your viewing pleasure.
Yeah,
because we're all about pleasing you guys.
You got
here.
options.
We got options here, and we appreciate each and every one of you, and we appreciate our channel members. You guys have been the heart and soul for us so far in this venture. Thank you, guys. But guys, we got to get ready for our guest coming on here. So it's a good time. We'll go quickly then, switch from baseball to a little football. I don't have my glasses because I threw everything everywhere. But, Zach, we're going to go over under 3 seconds as we go around the Maryland and we make our next move. Oh, my goodness, you did it.
Yeah, it's already loaded in.
Wow.
How about that?
Yeah. We are starting this week off hot. Well, we're going to want to go around Maryland here, brought to you by our friends over at Next Move Charm City and the Belanger team over at Loan Depot. So if you are willing or ready to make your next move, whether it's cities, suburbs, or shore, make the right move with Next Move Charm City, and we appreciate their support and the Belanger team at Loan Depot. So, guys, as you can see on the map, we cover these teams quite a bit. We just talked about what's happening in the AL East because there's no Orioles news, but the AL East is popping right now, or it might be. Now we got to go over to the football side because let's just say that's kind of been the hot topic here, not just in Baltimore. It's been the hot topic around the country. Everywhere. So I thought, we reached out to some people knew some people. And we thought we need to talk to one of the guys that has one of the sharpest pulses on this situation. He writes for The Athletic, covers the Ravens on the day-to-day. And, Jeff, when you're ready, just give me a thumbs up. If you are ready. Jeff, you ready? Oh, beautiful.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring on Jeff Zrebiec from The Athletic. Jeff, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, Ryan. You were a little muddled for a while there, but I can hear you loud and clear now.
We're better now. I do muffle my words, so I am trying to get better at that. Better now, though? We're good?
Yeah, I hear you. I got you.
Perfect. Well, hey, first off, thank you for joining. I've seen you around everywhere. A little wild week, to say the least. How would you rank this in weeks of being around the team through all the years you've covered? Because this is a unique situation that in my lifetime I really haven't experienced it to this extent.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I've been covering the team since 2011, and I don't remember as sort of crazy of a time. Now, there's been some years, obviously, I think we all remember the Ray Rice year where for all the wrong reasons, that one was kind of crazy to cover and very difficult to cover. But in terms of like any coaching stuff and general manager stuff, I tell people all the time, like I've been covering the team since 2011. I've covered 2 general managers And that was as peaceful of transfer as power as any general manager move in the history of sports, with Eric DeCosta, taking the reins from Ozzie Newsome, and only one head coach. So that's pretty amazing in this day and age of sports and changes and all that. So yeah, it was. I think we knew it was going to be one of those off seasons either way. You have the Lamar contract stuff and all the drama involving that. There's a lot of free agents. There's probably going to be very active on that front. Whether Harbaugh returned or not, there was going to be coaching changes. So there's just going to be a lot. But, man, the right out of the box that Tuesday afternoon with the Harbaugh news, it certainly set the tone for what's going to be a wacky, wild offseason.
Yeah, wacky is an understatement, I think. I think the chaos that went about it on Tuesday, we were live on the show when it happened, and then I'm thinking to myself, Jeff, I'm like, shit, we have Charlie Kohler joining us after, and I felt bad because Charlie came on. He's like, I want to preface this. I didn't come on here to talk about John Harbaugh being fired. It's just how it turned out. And you could see on his face when we talked to him, and even as people in this community, you were trying to process this because you knew that changes probably needed to happen to some extent, maybe not to that, but also processing that one of the most heartbreaking losses in Ravens history, I'll put it up there for heartbreakers, in Pittsburgh to go to the playoffs. If you're not going to say it's your top 5, it's got to be in a top 10 moment in Ravens history of heartbreak. But on top of it, now it's all this reporting going about around the scene too. We had Todd Monken last week. I know you spent a lot of time around Todd, and I've heard a lot about Todd. I didn't think Todd would necessarily be so explicit, but he was. And this whole situation to me has been very intriguing because people are trying to piece things together. And then I saw that you and Diana Rossini were talking about the way of which this all went down with Harbaugh being fired by phone calls. Am I not mistaken? Do you mind just telling me a little bit more about what you know of the situation that's kind of unfolded here, really over the last 72 hours?
Yeah, sure. I was the same way. Tuesday morning, everything I heard was he was likely coming back. And that created, I knew the decision wasn't made. I knew there was still some things that had to just be discussed. But as of Tuesday morning, all things were leaning towards the direction that he was coming back. So what changed? I mean, that was the idea. That's what we were all trying to figure out. Again, I don't know that they were ever 100% he was coming back. I still think there was a decision to be made. What had happened was Monday morning, John Harbaugh had met with team president Sashi Brown, general manager Eric DeCosta, and executive vice president Newsome. And they had talked about the future, the plan. There were no assurances made to Harbaugh, but he talked about how he sees things going forward, some of the potential coaching changes he was feeling were necessary and he was planning to make. And then, obviously those three men talked to Steve Bisciotti later in the afternoon about the whole situation. And when everyone went to bed that Monday night, I think people mostly thought Harbaugh would be back as the head coach. But Bisciotti met with a bunch of players on that Tuesday. Harbaugh was in the office. He was talking to coaches about the plans going forward, the offseason. I think he knew there was no assurances he was going to be back, but the sense around the team was it was headed that way. But Bisciotti talked to several players about the situation. One even went over his house to kind of have a meeting about the team. And by mid-afternoon, the whole tenor of the situation had changed. Things were headed in the opposite direction. And I think Harbaugh had a feel for that. And then when Harbaugh was on his way home from the team facility I think it was around 4:00, Steve Bisciotti called him, let him know that he was being relieved as the head coach of the Ravens. And, there's a lot of emotion there. So obviously there's things both men, I think, wanted to say to each other, Ryan, that they really never got a chance to say. So Bisciotti called Harbaugh again on Thursday, and they talked for about 40 minutes to talk about why he made the move, what happened, So these two men are going to be good friends going forward. I mean, I'm sure there's always none of this, 18 years, this was always going to be a difficult parting, like there's no way to do it cleanly without feelings being hurt. But
Yeah.
I think going forward, these are two men who have a lot of respect for each other, who both probably recognize that a change was needed.
I mean, definitely something that needed to give. I think of this whole thing, Jeff, there's been a lot of, speculation around why did this happen? Yeah. How did it happen? I think that's part of the reason Todd wanted to come on to talk with us, because he felt that there was reports coming out with him that he felt weren't true, so on a part about Lamar, he was going, look, my relationship with Lamar was fine. And, could it have been better? Sure. But that wasn't a main part of that. And the reason why, too, on all of our posts, then I'm assuming they're associated with Lamar's group, but we have a Lamar Entertainment that keeps posting on all of it saying truth starts to come out now. And I think a lot of people, Jeff, are just trying to piece together an 18-year relationship between Bisciotti and Harbaugh and a friendship being done over a phone call. And I do agree, though, that if this is your buddy, and it's a hard thing, whether it's your best friend or not, to go, hey, let me call you in and tell you I'm going to fire you, or I'm going to call you on the phone and I'm going to fire you. But you know what I mean, Jeff? There's a lot of, more than ever, there's a lot of people that feel conflicted about all of this because, one, the Ravens haven't dealt with this much drama in-house in such a long time. And people are just trying to piece together what to really believe. Yeah, and I hate even saying that, but I think that is part of the situation right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, my family is season ticket holders for the Giants. So I have all, back home, I'm from New Jersey. I grew up a huge Giant fan. So I have all these people calling me and saying, oh, what are we getting with John Harbaugh? And how did this go wrong? And the easiest way to say it is I look at three things, right? One was the on-field stuff. The game management hangups were happening too often. And by game management, I mean, maybe not getting Derrick Henry the ball at the wrong times and some of the late game collapses from game management, the blown leads. That's the kind of on-field stuff that I think we're becoming a blemish on John's resume here. Two, I think the locker room dynamic. Now, I've talked to I've talked to a good number of players and they were mixed, but I've still yet to talk to a player that said he completely lost the locker room. And I don't think you completely lose the locker room and yet you go out in Green Bay in that weather and beat their you-know-what to keep your playoff hopes alive. This was a Ravens team that was making mistakes and may have not been playing their best, but I didn't see any evidence of any white flag waving, any business decisions. This team was still playing hard to the end. And I think all the people I talked to, in fact, I even had a player reach out to me because he thought it was BS that it was out there that he lost the locker room, because he said that's, I think players understand why it had to happen, but I don't think John Harbaugh lost the locker room completely. Now, there were some guys that probably were ready for a new change, but I think that's for every team in every sport. Not everyone's like the coach. So the whole locker room, I think this was a difficult year, and I think that was part two of it. That was the second. And that coincides with Steve Bisciotti talking to a group of players about it. And I think there was a sense there that there was more grumbling, there's more division than usual in the John Harbaugh locker room. So that was the second thing. The third thing is the Lamar Jackson aspect. Now, it's going to come, there's going to be things that come out about that, relationships. They didn't see eye to eye and everything. And I think some of that's magnified by the fact that they were losing. They were a popular Super Bowl pick, and they were 1-5 at one point. I don't think it was necessarily done as a factor because of their relationship necessarily. This year was a strain. I think this year was a strain on Harbaugh and Lamar about the practicing. Will he not practice? The frustration, but I also would say nobody did more promoting, defending, and just taking up for Lamar Jackson than John Harbaugh. And that's what a lot of players mention here. But I think in general, they probably felt Lamar needed a restart. He needed a new coach, a new voice in his ear, a new motivator for him, a new partner in all this. He's the face of the franchise. Like, he's a superstar, and he's going to be a big part of this, and they need to get a head coach to make sure they're together, they're moving in the same direction, they're getting along well. And it just feels like stale is a popular word, Ryan, but it just feels like that relationship had gotten a little stale, and both sides could benefit from, kind of new partnership.
I mean, look, in a sports setting, for those that don't know or aren't covering the team, Jeff, or being around it, for me growing up in it, it's not, sunshines and rainbows and this camaraderie of, it is when you win. You look at Ben Johnson and the Bears are winning and they're humming and you're like, hell yeah, this is what it's supposed to be in a locker room, but it's really not. That's you're on cloud nine. That's everything going the way that you hoped. And only few teams have that exact moment throughout the entire process. But a lot of the parts are not everyone's going to love every coach that you have. I'll be honest. I didn't love every coach that I had. Doesn't mean that I didn't like them or respect them, and I think that's a big part to this whole conversation. I know we got to let you go here in a second here, Jeff, but Brad, you have a quick question?
Yeah, just one clarifying question, Jeff, and that I was trying to piece together the story that you were telling, and I just want to make sure that I'm hearing this right. So to your understanding, it's that John Harbaugh actually never met with Steve Bisciotti and that he spoke with everyone else, and then they went to Bisciotti with that message. Is that right?
Yeah, that's a good clarification. I don't get any sense that John Harbaugh and Steve Bisciotti had any in-depth conversations after the loss in Pittsburgh. And now, could they have sent a few texts to each other? That's, John texts with a lot of people. But I think what's interesting is John really never got a chance with the owner, in the owner's presence. And he was in town, too. He just wasn't in the building. I don't think he got any chance to kind of state his case for the job. And I think that'll certainly be something owner Steve Bisciotti will be asked about Tuesday. The manner of which this went down, why not face-to-face? Why not, sit down in on those meetings with John Harbaugh and like get his take. And it'll be interesting to see why he says why that didn't go on. It's not a criticism for me about why it didn't happen. It is just curious considering they've been so close and they've had such a partnership over the years, that why he didn't sit down with them and kind of discuss the direction of things going forward.
I think that is the shocking part to all of it, right? It's the exact thing. Not that it's unprecedented to fire someone on the phone, but given the long track record of how the Ravens have been and how that friendship has been, that maybe it's saying, hey, it's easy to rip the Band-Aid off, but even if you have that understanding and said, hey, we're moving on, it still does seem strange after 18 years. And I know Steve and John are really close. When you sit there and go, damn, that hurts hearing that.
Yeah.
That's the way it went down. Now I think it's going to lean to greener pastures for John Harbaugh, hoping it leans to greener pastures for the Ravens. I mean, I'm not even going to ask you, Jeff, on what the timeline is for a coach, because it seems like the Ravens are interviewing every damn person available on the market. And I think we can be quick on that. Fair to say the Ravens are going to do their homework. And I'd be surprised if this process is prolonged here because they want to make sure they get it right.
Yeah, I think the timeline they're generally operating under is 2 to 3 weeks. And really Wednesday will be the 1 week mark because, they fired him Tuesday afternoon. They really didn't hop in on the head coaching stuff till Wednesday. So we're not even at the 1 week mark. They've interviewed 7, I believe they're up to. I would expect 7 or 8 more to be interviewed by the end of this week. And then I think they'll start bringing people in person, like the finalists, to come to the Under Armour Performance Center to start talking about, to really hone in on things and do the most thorough interview and then make a decision off that. So I would be surprised if this is done before the, 2.5 week mark. All
right. 2.5 weeks. We'll see how it wraps up there. Jeff, it's just a wild time in football right now. There's a great playoffs, and it reminds you that the Ravens, if they were in the dance, it feels so wide open in the AFC. I know Houston looks good, but I have a weird feeling, Jeff, that Buffalo might go on a run, but the point being is you're sitting there going, damn, this could have been a great opportunity. But some great games. Actually talking, I don't know if you saw the whole thing with Miss Lynn Jones down in Jacksonville. We're talking with her later on about that whole situation with Liam Cohen, and that got a lot of publicity. There's a lot to talk about today, overall. So, we'll see.
Yeah, when you talk about like the most devastating losses with the Ravens, and I agree with you, it's got to be in the top 10. The only reason I may not put in the top 5 is because I never got the sense that this team was going to make a run. There was just too much inconsistency week in and week out. However, in saying that, we've all seen instances where something clicks for a team and a team gets hot. And I think we all know they had those elements where they could have gotten hot. And you watch these other teams in the AFC, and they have their strengths, but no one really scares you. So in saying that, like, look, it didn't hurt as much because, you didn't feel like this team had what it takes to go the Super Bowl anyway. Yeah, I would agree with that. But I would also say, well, who knows? All these teams are flawed that we're watching play on the weekend. There's no team that absolutely scares you. The Bills have the best player, but do they have the best team that's still playing? And it'll be interesting. I mean, it was an awesome weekend of playoffs. The game last night was kind of boring. I was a little disappointed in that one.
Hey, the Panthers almost took out the Rams.
I know. And the Rams have not been playing well at all for several weeks now. So, the 49ers are losing guys every week and they're still alive. So it's fascinating. I wouldn't even know who to label a favorite at this point.
I don't even know either. And now there's all reports about that. The reason why George Kittle hurt his Achilles is maybe because of the practice facility that they're training at. I mean, things are getting crazy, Jeff.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, for those that don't know where they can find you, all of your work you do for The Athletic, just let everyone, I mean, honestly, Jeff, not to give you your cards. I think everyone knows who you are. They're like, yeah, if I'm only believing it if Jeff says it. So just talk for a second where people can find you for further information and everything going on with the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, I'm at theathletic.com and at Jeff Zrebiec, the X account. We'll be busy, man. I mean, look, people are excited to hear what Steve Bisciotti has to say Tuesday. We haven't heard him in a press conference setting in many years, to be honest. So I think there'll be a lot of tweets coming out of if they still call them tweets, coming out of my account tomorrow. I'll obviously be writing, off that news conference tomorrow. But, this is just the start of it. There's going to be a new coach in a couple of weeks. There's going to be a new staff. Then we're going to have the Lamar stuff. So it's going to be a busy off season. So I'll be writing plenty.
Yeah, you'll be staying busy. Whether you like it or not, Jeff, you're going to be staying busy. So, hey, we appreciate your time today. I look forward to when we talk next. And, enjoy what tomorrow brings. I'm definitely going to be curious, and I'll be checking out your work to follow up.
Sounds good, guys. Have a good rest of the day. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Jeff.
Jeff Zrebiec, everybody. I thought, and thank you for the clarification, Brad, on that. And
I wanted to make sure that I was getting it right because I was like, wait, am I understanding that Stephen Harbs never spoke before he called him up and said, hey, you're canned?
Yeah, and there's only 2 people that will truly know that conversation.
Yeah.
Truly, if we wanted to hear it right from the horse's mouth.
Yeah. We could ask him.
Maybe we could one of these times. But if you are new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. I also, to wrap up, because I like to decompress now that we had that conversation, I also thought it was interesting, at least Jeff's acknowledging of all the reports that are coming out. And I know that some people want to say, well, who do we trust now? Because you're seeing at the national level,
lots of conflicting stories.
Schefter and Rappaport was the players lost the locker room. I love the fact that he made a point there of Jeff saying people might have been frustrated, but frustration is different than losing a locker room.
Well, I'd like to clarify that Schefter did not say that. Schefter was actually against saying that he had lost the locker room. I believe there were some reports on the NFL Network side that said that perhaps he may have. But yeah, Adam Schefter, ESPN, did not say that.
Right. That's what I was trying to say. Rappaport's
Yeah, I just
report,
wanted to clarify that.
Clarify. Rappaport's report
Yeah.
was that the Ravens, that Harbaugh fully lost the locker room, and Schefter said that is the opposite of what I've heard.
Yeah.
What I think people get confused with is the difference between frustration and, giving up. And the Ravens, if you watch that, and if you don't believe us, go back and watch Charlie Kohler's interview with us on the Ryan Ripken show last week. Charlie, just hearing how he spoke, you could tell a lot was weighing on him, but it's also, when you listen to him, that doesn't sound like a man that gave up on the season. It hurt him like hell that they lost that game. It hurt like hell.
You could see it all over his face. He was just visibly just done.
It was done. And you can be frustrated. And I'm not saying this is not Charlie. Charlie said no such thing for his sake. He even said he loves Harbs. He texted Harbs saying how much I love him. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
It's just the point of that every team, it's not this fairy tale when you win that everything's all rah-rah. I mean, if you want to look at the Eagles last year, they had issues with their team, obviously with their dynamics, but when you win, you don't really talk about it as much because people are humming on the victories.
Right.
Eagles had almost the same team, injuries on their offensive line, and you could see tensions were brewing more. And then, there's frustrations. The Eagles are going to have to make some decisions, but that happens more in the season than you think. It's not just the great moments. He brought up the Rams. Hey, dude, the Rams have been scuffling a little bit. They've had their issues, and they probably haven't been happy about some of the stuff that happened with Puka Nacua and that maybe distraction.
Yeah.
But here the Rams are. They're one win away from going to the AFC Championship game. But it's not perfect in that building. That's the point I'm trying to make here, but you got to be able to figure it out. For the Ravens, they're going to have to figure out who their next head coach is going to be.
I actually have a poll in regards to that.
Oh, please.
I think it's very interesting to me. I asked the same exact question that I asked Thursday, and that was the Ravens' next head coach will be. And I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but it was overwhelming to Brian Flores on Thursday. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing how a few days changes everything. Because I asked the same question yet again, and it is split everywhere. So my options this time around are Robert Saleh, Clint Kubiak, Jesse Minter, Brian Flores. And Brian Flores is now placed in third place. It's moved up to where fans are thinking that it could be a Clint Kubiak hiring for the next head coach of the Baltimore Ravens.
Is Minter 2 at the moment?
Minter is 2. Robert Saleh comes in at 12%, which, to be honest, I think Robert Saleh will be an incredible head coach here in Baltimore.
Dude, shout out Robert Saleh, by the way, and the Niners, and just Kyle Shanahan.
That's yes.
They're falling left and right, Zach. And you can get to your
Robert Saleh's. I was just going to say Robert Saleh's resume in New York, in my opinion, should just be thrown out the window because of how that organization's just ran. And even then, that defense on the Jets side of the defense for the Jets when Robert Saleh was there was solid. They were damn good. It's just that he had Zach Wilson at quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, at this moment, I'm getting texts from Robert Saleh just saying to be ready in case I need to go out there and play linebacker.
Yeah.
and he's still finding ways to shut down these top teams.
Yes.
And
thank you.
Listen, and I'm going to talk about real fast what, Trey Wingo talked about. There are just some jobs that Robert Saleh has to stay away from. I mean, I think he's a good coach, but if he goes to Las Vegas, you're done.
Yes.
Your coaching career's over because you're going to
head coaching career.
Yeah, head coaching career. I'm very confident in saying this. If he goes to Las Vegas, they are going to lose a lot first year.
Oh, yeah.
Not because of what he does. I don't think they have a lot of talent, and I'm pretty sure they're getting rid of their best player, Max Crosby, this offseason. So and as Trey Wingo said, that's a lot of losing, and teams will look at that. So I don't think he goes there. I think Baltimore would be a good spot for him. I'm between Kubiak and Minter. I think a lot of people have jumped on the Minter train after last night as well, holding the second highest or second best statistically speaking offense in the league to only one touchdown. Hunter Henry cashed the parlay. It speaks volumes. I mean, it's not a talented group. I think they have one first-round pick in the secondary. That's Derwin James. They have backups. I think they're 2 starting corners right now or 5th-round picks. And for him to do that, I think people are taking notice. Kubiak, just give me a Kubiak. I mean, it's the best we saw Joe Flacco ever look in a Baltimore Ravens uniform was with Gary running the show.
That
I
offense
just think
was nasty.
a Robert Saleh, Mike McDaniel tandem would feed families in Baltimore.
It'd be very interesting. Be very interesting. But I think above all, it still for me goes back to who do the Ravens want to be? And I still think that the Ravens' identity at their core is we are going to put the fear of God in you. And I agree with Dan Orlovsky on that. The Ravens' identity on defense is we have to be physical. We are coming after you.
Yeah.
And we are going to wreak havoc. Because that's when they are at their best, at their core, is when the Ravens' defense is dictating things, not the other way around. Now, do I want an unbelievable offense? Hell yeah. But I feel a lot more confident that Lamar Jackson and the group that's there with a good offensive coordinator, they're going to have success. But on the defensive side, getting back to what made the Ravens special, because you know what? In 2023, why were the Ravens so damn special?
Because Mike McDonald
That defense and Mike McDonald running it, that defense was disgusting. That defense was terrorizing. And then on top of it, by the way, the MVP Lamar Jackson's on the other side. It's the defense is what takes the life out of you because the offense is there. They're going, hey, you better score some points because if you don't and we got to 20, this game's over. And that's what happened for the Ravens. So I'm really curious which direction that they're going to go. But I think overall here, they're going to take their time. Jeff said 2 to 3 weeks.
It's going to be after the Super Bowl, I think, because I think there's candidates out there that are still playing for the Super Bowl that the Ravens may end up hiring. And so I don't think any of that happens until after the Super Bowl is over.
It's going to be next week after the Seahawks shit the bed.
And they can hire Clint Kubiak.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
You know what? That game. So right now, it's the Bears and facing the Rams. I love the Bears season. I still think the Rams have a date in the NFC Championship game. I do think it's going to happen.
I saw something, and I'm just going to put it out there. We're getting into territory where I think the Bears are going off script. There's no way they were supposed to have this many comeback wins. I think at one point yesterday after it was after the Jaguars game or going into the Jaguars game, the team leading at the 2-minute warning in the wild card was 0-3. So the Bears are getting to that point where each week I say, this is the week they finally lose. This is the week. And it looked like it against Green Bay. Did live bet the Bears at half, but that's besides that. Just thought some magic was going to happen.
Good for you.
Thank you. It just like we're at the point where I'm starting to get scared of the Bears. Like I don't know what. I'm not saying it's the Pope, but we've got to consider it.
All right, we got to talk to Adam. We need Adam Rank.
This is a great Cinderella story, but the Bears, the pumpkin's about to come out. Okay, you can't continue to play like this and expect to go all the way to the Super Bowl. There's no chance that happens.
What happens if they do?
Super Bowl, but
if they do, they're losing to whoever they're playing in the Super Bowl. All I'm saying is that they will strike midnight at some point. We've seen this so many times to where all these mistakes get made, and that is not sustainable football. Caleb Williams played like dog shit all the way up until about 8 minutes left in the game. Okay? I'm just saying.
So you're saying if the Bears make the Super Bowl, you will paint your nails?
No, if they win the Super Bowl, I will paint my nails. That's what I said.
Okay.
I think, though, this Rams team does give the Bears some sort of chance, though, just because
they've also been playing like shit.
I just think that the Rams have been like two different teams. Sometimes you look at the Rams and you're like, this team shouldn't lose to another team on this league. Like Stafford, Puka, Kyron, Devontae. You're sitting there, then you look at the defense and all the, the pass rush they have. You're like, how does any team? And then you're watching them a little bit and you're like, are the Panthers actually about to do this right now? Like, it just feels like they've been
literally texted.
I did. I texted Rip. I was like, what is happening right now?
You know what? The Rams to me are that team where it's almost like they played down a little bit. Like when they're expected to roll, they're like, yeah, we're gonna roll. And then they play the Falcons.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what in the hell was that? And you play the Panthers And, you lost to them early. And I would even say I thought they were going to, all right, close game. Things went right for the Panthers in that one. Good plays defensively for them. A lot of turnovers by Stafford. Not going to happen again. And yet it took a last minute's drive for Matthew Stafford to send the Rams on. But then it's like, hey, go play the NFC West, the teams that you're humming against. Matt Stafford can go into Seattle and freaking sling that thing.
Yeah.
If they don't have the weird 2-point conversion situation and they don't have the punt return that the Seahawks had, the Rams win it and they're the 1 seed.
Right.
Like, they play well against the really good teams. It's just the other teams where you're like, hey, what are we doing here? So the 49ers are going to play the Seahawks. Rams play the Bears. And we got to get Adam Rank on this week. I'm going to make that a priority because he is living up there and talking about the off script of
every Bears fan
talk about receipts.
Every Bears fan.
He's carrying his receipts.
I'm sure
Twitter, he is. Every other tweet I saw Saturday night and Sunday morning was Adam Rank responding to some Packers fan that like at halftime was like, yeah, this game's over. So glad we put the Bears to bed. And it's just every time was, hey, can I get an update? ? Every single time is over and over.
I mean, look, the Packers lost that game. Can we all agree the Packers lost that game? They had no business losing that game.
McManus missed 3 kicks, 2 field goals, and an extra point in that one.
Yep.
They had no business losing that game.
And also the plays and this is the thing that's been happening for the Bears. It's not just that they've made the comebacks. It's when they are making plays. It's like on 4th and 7.
Yeah.
4th and 8. Caleb rolled out to his left, and it's like the ball's behind his head, and it's just like a little fling down the field, 25 yards, perfectly, and caught. And you go, with the game, like they don't make that play, the game's over.
And this is why I'm saying that there's no way this is sustainable throughout the postseason. There's just no way that they make it this. Let's somehow they figure it out. There's just no way that they're going to go on a run with plays like that.
I got to say this, and we'll close it out. I think, regardless, it's fun. I'm enjoying it.
For sure.
It's a great ride. Chicago fans, I'm happy for you because in baseball, you sign Bregman, you're like, yeah, what a Saturday. And then you beat your rivals in one of the biggest comeback in postseason history for your team. And I think you were winless in those jerseys in that situation.
Yeah.
Real fast. Yeah. Just opinions on this because, while we're going to talk about more heartfelt post-game things in a little bit. Thoughts on Ben Johnson very publicly on camera saying F the Packers, F them.
Absolutely love that.
I think it's
I absolutely look, I obviously have criticized the Bears in this game and whatever, but like that this is great for football. It's just been like, and we haven't had that, right? Yeah. We haven't had that since like the true rivalry between Ravens and Steelers. And that needs to come back, by the way. But like the fact that Ben Johnson was just like, oh, by the way, talk to the GM. He's on board too. Like we hate the Packers. Like bring more of that on.
Yeah. I mean, it was literally, it was Billick-esque after the Titans.
Yeah.
Just he didn't tell everyone to put the cameras away because he knew it was going to.
Yeah, exactly.
Thing. We need, and it's so funny that we're going to then talk with Lynn Jones, but we need more hate in football. Like we need more hate in rivalries.
Dude, the rivalries,
like that's what makes it.
It's
like
phenomenal.
Say it. Like, say, you sit there, F the Packers. Good. Beat them next time. And this is not new to Ben Johnson.
No.
What did his introductory press conference? He's like, yeah, I really enjoyed beating the shit out of Matt LaFleur and the Packers twice a year. Then he went and stood on business.
Yeah.
And then he said, F the Packers. I'll tell you one thing. If Matt LaFleur's back next year, you don't think there's going to be a little more animosity going into Packers, Bears? That's what we need.
It's great. And you know what?
This is why Matt LaFleur will be back as the Packers head coach. Like Ben Johnson saved his job. If you ask me.
You know what? That might be the first game of the year. It might be prime time.
Bring it on.
Packers, Bears. I'm for it. And overall, that will be a primetime game next year.
Oh,
no doubt about it. But the one thing that I do love, sports are great with rivalries. And even in this case, if it's either going to be bitterness from the players on the field, or it's like in the Ravens-Steelers case where back in the day, like in the early 2000s, mid-2000s, where it's like somebody hits somebody, rip his head off type of mentality.
Yeah.
That was a peak rivalry moment just as a fan watching all that. But in this case, even now, if the Ravens and Steelers play, you just go, I don't care what the records are. This game, 90% of the time, is going to be a one-score game. One fan base is going to be so pissed off after, but you're going to sit there and go, all right, damn, I can't wait for the next game. Like, even though the Ravens lost that one and it was heartbreaking, that was an iconic game in the rivalry. It was, and this happens all the time. It's great for sports, however way you want to do it. Even last year, there was a little bit of talk because Pat Fryermuth heard that Nick came on here and was complimenting the Steelers, and then it was, here you talk a lot of shit for a long snapper. That it was good. And then the Ravens dropped like 30 on him.
Yeah.
It's great. I love when players are more open, and I love when coaches are more open. And I want to point this out. It's not really personal.
No.
But I love the entertainment factor. Yeah, when you're on the field, you want to beat the hell out of the other team. I'll talk to you after and be like, hey, man, great game. But in the moment, I'm going to try to beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And get used to it. And for the Bears, they needed that energy to come back. And there they are. They are now one win away from going to the NFC Championship game. And if the Seahawks get upset, then the Bears would host it. That's how crazy this has been. Not buying that that's going to happen yet, but time will tell. But you know what? Time will tell. In about 23 minutes, Miss Lynn Jones is going to join us from the Jacksonville Free Press. She did go on earlier. I saw in Jacksonville on the media. And actually, Zach, could you maybe pull that one up? Because I would like to. Do you want me to send it to you, or do you have it?
If you just bookmark it real fast.
Let me bookmark it real quickly. Brad, housekeeping wise, how are we doing housekeeping at the moment?
Housekeeping. I did end the poll. It ended up being Clint Kubiak barely edges out Jesse Minter, 34% to 32%.
Interesting.
I see it going down anyway.
Brian Flores, 21%. Robert Saleh, 13%.
Interesting.
71 votes. But yeah, guys, if you are new to the channel and you haven't hit that join button next to subscribe, please do that. You can become one of the Rip's better kids or one of the Rip's good kids. It doesn't matter if you're a good kid or a bad kid. Just be a part of the crew, part of the ship, part of the crew. If you guys want to get more exclusive access to stories or interviews before they come out, we do all of that in with our channel memberships. Go click on that join button next to subscribe and become part of the show.
And actually, right after the show today, not right meow, but in a few hours, we're going over our planning and scheduling here for 2026. We're really trying to map down with potential new partners joining the Ryan Ripken Ryan Ripken Show community here for us helping you help us help you help them. We're going to plan all that out, and we do want to bring back some of the other perks. I want to get a solidified day for Rip After Dark. Nick allegedly would like to do more work and do Nick at Night per sources. But, when we say per sources nowadays, who do you really believe? We'll have Nick come on and we'll quote him on that in saying that. But also, I mentioned to the channel members earlier, I sent you guys a message saying who our guests were for the day. And Dan Orlovsky, when that interview dropped, we put that out to you all first before we put out an edited version to the general public. So appreciate all you guys. Thank you for everything you've done. And it's just been a fun time, man. Fun ride. It's really interesting to see how far we've grown here. And for all the people last week, thank you if you're new to finding us. We're glad you did.
Yeah.
We talk a lot of things in this Maryland region. The ironic thing is, we're considered a backbone with baseball, which we're going to have a great year. But we do love football, just like so many of you. We do talk a lot of football, and we do get some high-level guests. Got the exclusive for Todd Monken to join the show, and that was great. If you're looking to figure out what was going through the minds of the Ravens offensive coordinator, or you are having questions about your marriage, well, look no further than Todd Monken.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Every day is 4th and 1.
Every day is 4th and 1. Write that down. So, Zach, while you're getting that, you have that clip together?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Do we want to wait on that clip for a second for her going on in Jacksonville, Miss Lynn Jones with the Jacksonville Free Press? Do we want to wait on that, or we want to show that now?
No, I said that I would like to introduce her with that clip.
Well, no, we have a different clip.
Oh, we can play that one. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Well, she went on earlier and just talked a little bit about it. So maybe we'll play that for a second, and then we're going to ask her maybe some questions off of it. So, Zach, you got that clip?
Yep.
And go.
And scene.
Yes.
Subscriptions going up for the Jacksonville Free Press.
Yes.
I mean, did you know this was going to throw you into the spotlight?
I did not. I really did not. I mean, it was a typical day. Go to the press box, and it was just an overwhelming day. I can tell you that this entire city, this town, our team, our city, and our coach, we were overwhelmed. I mean, and I really was not going to attend the press conference, but I left out. I was talking to a young man. I'm sure he know who he is, 23-year-old young man. We're just talking about the game. I'm telling him I'm from Michigan, this and that, and I'm giving him some words. He said, ma'am, you need to go ahead and attend the press conference. So I went back, I went down, went through how we maneuvered through, and I sat there, and everyone was back there, and then Coach, word up, Coach. So Coach came out, and his emotions, he was totally immersed, his feelings. He had tears, he bit his lip. And the issue is the question, not necessarily a question in the fourth quarter, in the fourth down, and the punt came through.
Right.
But my question was, keep your head up, young man. Yeah. Young man, this entire year, we have rooted for this team over more than 30 years. Do you understand what I'm saying? The stadium, the solemnness, we were rooting, I mean, it was packed. So he was like, yes, ma'am, thank you. So now I'm the new grandma.
Probably needed to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new auntie. And
so, Lynn, I do want to bring out, because this also has a lot of mixed emotions and how people are responding to this.
Yes.
So Adam Schefter wrote, this is an awesome post-game exchange between a reporter and Jags head coach. But then Mark Long, who's an AP reporter, kind of went in on this.
Yes.
And he said nothing awesome about this, called you fake media, said that you shouldn't even have been up there asking those kind of questions. So when you heard that, how did that make you feel?
I don't take no offense to it. Listen, I've been in this business more than 25 years. I've interviewed from Barack Obama to Terry Bradshaw to, what's my guy named Tiger Woods. So he can say whatever he wants about fake news. I am a member of the Black Press, NNPA, the National Newspaper Association, that's been around more than 100 years. I'm the associate editor of the Jacksonville Free Press, one of the more than 230 African-American newspapers still printing in this country today. In Jacksonville, you have the Florida Star since 1955. We've been around since 1986. In Philadelphia, the Philly Tribune has been printing since 1884. In my hometown of Detroit, the Michigan Chronicle has been printing since 1935. So support the Black Press. So he can call me fake all you want to, honey. I've been doing this a long time.
Let me tell you something.
I cannot wait to talk to her.
I'm fired up, man. I'm fired up.
I love it. And here's the thing, and I wanted to play that clip for all of our viewers when she comes on here in just about 15 minutes now at this point. But for Miss Jones, what I loved, and it's a great reminder for everyone else, I'm going to tell her this, being comfortable with who you are and how you go about your business. Yeah. And I love the fact that she is not changing who she is. And also, she was reminding people, I've been doing this for a long time. Quarter century, if I heard that correctly. 25 years she's been doing that. She has then covered and interviewed some very high-profile people over time, and that people talking badly about her. And it's the same thing. I resonate with her saying that, you know what? I don't care, because I'm staying true to what my work and who I am as an individual. I think that's the bigger message here, for regardless of how you feel about any of this. And I know reporters, look, I get where you're talking about it, but at the same time, when it comes to this line of work in media and how you get through, you got to be real. You got to be objective, and you also got to be willing to be who you are. And that's how you stay around for a long time. And I think Miss Jones embodies that. And she's not going to care if someone's going to tell her how she should do her job.
Bro, this is why our line of media is becoming becoming the go-to media. This is why the show, in my opinion, has started to become as successful as it is, because we can be positive about things. We don't have to find the most negative thing and continue to just twist the screws a little bit to see how much more we can get out of it. You know what I mean? I think bringing some positivity, this is sports. We escape the real world and all the bullshit that's going on out there to actually use this as an outlet. So why not create more positivity about it? It wasn't like she was being unprofessional, not in my opinion. And in fact, I actually saw a post from McAfee this morning as well, from Pat McAfee. And I mean, he went on a tirade as well, including on his show. But he said, love seeing these sports journalists getting absolutely buried for being curmudgeon bums. Obviously not all of them, but a large percentage of these things hate sports. They hate what sports are for people, happiness. They hate what sports are for society. They're political journalists by nature who have preyed upon sports because they saw it as an easier path to make it. I'm with him on that. I don't understand why they decided to attack somebody who had some positive things to say and took 27 seconds out of a press conference to do so. Just doesn't make any sense to me.
And here's the thing. And, Pat's going to take a lot of heat for what he said. But Pat, what's made Pat is he is who he is. He's going to say how he feels. And, the bigger part for me, I have a lot of respect for people that cover, report. It's a tough line of business. It is. Also, the other part, though, that I think needs to be remembered, in my opinion, is, again, human element of people.
Yeah.
That is an important quality. It is. And in this case, when you hear Miss Jones on that last clip from down in Jacksonville, when she was on with Channel 4, the genuine manner of it, there wasn't an agenda behind it besides just, I just want to tell you something. And I actually saw a clip surface the other day about Kevin Stefanski. There was a reporter that said to Stefanski, hey, I just want to let you know, I think that you have been put in some really bad positions, especially that your offense was undermanned for the majority of the season. That's a reporter saying that. He goes, I just want to tell you that, and that was it. And he said, it's not about one team. Stefanski took the high road. But the point being is, it's a non-story. It was a nice sentiment. And you know what? As a coach or a player, it's refreshing to hear that. And I'll even say it on this case. We're talking about in a world in this day and age where we have, according to my sources, and everything's more hidden.
Uh-huh.
The fact that in this case, a player and a coach is hearing directly from a person that's reporting news going, hey, I just want you to know, and I'm not afraid to say it to anyone. I can attach my name to it.
Yeah, just as a human being.
And the other thing is people attached her name to this. She didn't say, she probably said in the part of like, hey,
she did.
Miss Jones with
Freedom Press.
Free Press. So
Free Press.
She announced that part because that's what you do. But she's also putting that, hey, on the other side of it, if you're going to ask a tough question and you can be criticized for that, and I get it. But in other cases, you're attaching your name to something positive. And I think that should be valued, in my opinion. Not every time, but it should be valued.
Liam Cohen turned this organization around. Everybody forgot what a pile of shit this team was and this organization was for years. Since Trevor Lawrence came into the league, he's been dealt some pretty crazy hands.
Third head coach since he's been in the league.
Yeah, I mean, and for what he has done, I think for me, the way that I took it initially was that she was just acknowledging the fact that he took a team and an organization that really had nothing going for it and turned it around into a postseason or a playoff team in 1 year. I think that's really all she was just trying to acknowledge and be like, hey, you got nothing to be upset about. You got nothing to really hang your head on because what you did this year was absolutely incredible. And what's wrong with saying that?
No, I think the other moment I've heard some.
He could be coach of the year.
Right. And I could say, Zach, on other cases, people are going, well, hey, say that off air. Say that off the record. Say that in your own time. But I'd argue this. This is the first time she said she'd been down there, or like she decided, to go down there. I don't know if it was the first time, so I don't want to be off on that.
Yeah.
But then the chance that you're going to have an opportunity to pull him aside and say, Coach, hey, I just, off the record here, I just want to tell you it was a great year that you had. And I think, Zach, each reporter, you have a choice. And also, what he's getting probably questioned with on everything else? Everything that went wrong in the game.
Yeah.
Reflecting on the season. So in this case, reflecting on the season was a person that's covered the team for a quarter of a century or covered the region for a quarter of a century going, I just want you to know, I'm paraphrasing, but we've lost a lot. We watched a lot of crap down here.
Yeah.
And you brought a lot of hope to a place that we care about. And I just want to let you know, thanks. And I mean, Zach, I know you got a couple thoughts here, but I mean, go ahead.
No, I mean, all it did is I understand why journalists are upset about it because it did take 27 seconds away from them that they could have asked Liam Cohen for the 20th different time with the 30th different rephrasing about, hey, coach, what went wrong today? I mean, it's like those 27 seconds. I understand people are like, oh, it's not the place. It's not the – and I forget who put it out there, but like a lot of these people that are upset about it are upset because their response to this is getting more clicks than any of the stuff they've put out all football season.
Yeah.
It just – God forbid somebody sees someone upset. And like you talked about, Ryan, just the human element of it. Like, Liam, that's going to eat at him. Like that game, you think he's not going to sit there? Like, it wasn't like they got blown out and by the second quarter he sat there and he was already thinking about it. This is within 20 minutes of you walking off the field. Trevor Lawrence just threw that interception. Your season's over. Trevor Lawrence takes you down the field. Cam Little hits that field goal. You're probably, at the time that she's asking that, or she's saying that, you're probably still coaching for your season.
Yeah.
It happens fast. He's going through the emotions, and I'm sure. And listen, this is going to fall by the wayside. By next week, we will not be talking about this. Heck, probably by Friday we won't. But if you think Liam Cohen isn't going to remember that moment for the rest of his life, and every time something goes wrong this offseason when he thinks about how it ended and stuff, just having that sentiment, those 27 seconds are going to be more to him than they're ever going to mean for any question that could have been asked, like I said, to rephrase for the 50th time to him in that press conference. Hey, coach, didn't get it done today. What went wrong? Hey, coach, this decision. I know the 7 other guys have asked about this, but why'd you do that? Could you simply rephrase it a little bit more? If she went on a 5-minute tangent to the point where they're like, someone take a mic away from her, then we'd be in something other.
Yeah.
Those 27 seconds didn't hurt anybody.
Yeah. And, Joe, I see your comment here about saying it might be in the minority, nothing wrong with what the lady said, what Miss Lynn Jones said, but doesn't deserve the national fame. But here's the thing is, on a normal basis, you're right.
Yeah, it shouldn't be news.
It doesn't have to be news. It can be, hey, that was a wonderful thing that you said, and we're going to continue on with it. That was your time that you used and time that you spent. And I think that's okay. It does. And the thing is, I'm telling you, on the other side, some people might hate it, but a lot of people, for me, if someone said that to me, I go, you know what? I appreciate that you're seeing more of me, the individual. And I made mistakes. We had a chance to tie this game, go to overtime, and beat the Bills and host a playoff game next week. We had a chance going into it because the Patriots won. But you get my point. You had this chance. Sorry, Zach. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I just think it's only national news because of people being upset about it.
Yeah.
If everyone, like, that's the thing. Like, I think it's so funny that so many of these, and it is like every national reporter is like, oh, this is so dope. It's all the, the beat reporters that are like, why would she ever say this?
Yeah.
And if they don't have that reaction, none of this even, like, they're talking about like, oh, this is such a bad look. This is, bringing unnecessary, attention to this. No, that was you guys when you bitched about it for 5 straight hours. Like it was the worst thing in the world. Like, no, if that would have just happened, I'm sure it probably would have been reposted by a few big platforms and people would have been like, oh, hell yeah, that's cool. But I'll tell you something. If there's no media outrage by it, we're not talking about it on the show. We probably bring it up and we're like, oh, this was really cool.
Yeah. Spent 30 seconds on it and moved
we
on.
would have been like, oh, it would have been one of the cool things we saw this weekend. But because there was so much outrage of it to the point where Pat McAfee is writing, full paragraphs saying it, being like, hey, what the hell are we doing? The beat writers and the journalists that are upset about it, they're the ones who made this a story. And that's what I think is so funny about it is like there are people, in the beat writer industry, and this isn't all of them. There's a bunch of people that are like, yeah, this is pretty cool. That the ones that are upset and being like, I can't believe she did this. This is bringing such, attention to the job that doesn't need to be brought. You're bringing the attention.
Yeah.
She didn't do it to bring. It'd be one thing if she was live on Instagram and she was filming herself asking the question, being like, hey, coach, can you look at the camera? What? Then it's one thing. She just was giving a sincere, hey, keep your head up.
Well, and the thing, too, is she wasn't thinking twice about the response, the recognition.
Yeah.
And I'll tell her that here. She's going to join us here in just a few moments. And It's been a really hot news story, but I'll tell you what, a lot of people are going to know about the Jacksonville Free Press if you didn't know already.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people are going to know, and there's going to be a lot of great support. Because at the end of the day here, like why we got into all of this, first off, that I need to work on my skills. That's what I've been told a lot by people. I needed to get better at what I do to have a chance to broadcast more for the future. And that was daunting. It was terrifying. I was stressed out. But the other reason of doing it was I want to try to figure out how I could do it my way because I like to connect with people. I think our audience understands that. Brad, you know that. Zach.
Yep.
Nate, again, is going to figure it out over there that we are. Yeah, Nate, if you don't know, besides that, we might throw you out the window. As initiation, you got to go swimming in the harbor. But the part is I genuinely care about what people feel and think. And I want them to trust that you can come on and be yourself with us. That's my goal because I think you get the best answers out of people that way. And that's why I thank Todd Monken when he came on last week in a situation where he could speak openly about what he thought went wrong and he felt comfortable clearing the air. I'm thankful that Charlie Kohler came on the show even after all of it and felt that he could speak honestly, and I'm not going to put him in a bad position because you know what? How do people get more out of it? You feel connected to them when they feel relatable. And that's the biggest thing. People want to relate. These athletes, these superstars, anyone that's your heroes, some cases, they could be this extraordinary individual. They very well could be, and they mean a lot of different reasons for people. I have one, my father was a role model for a lot of people for what he did and what he embodied on the field and off of it, right?
Yeah.
But the bigger part here is that when people recognized him for being just Cal, he loved that even more. He actually it made him smile deep down when people looked at him as Cal Ripken, the person, not Cal Ripken Jr., the Iron Man.
Yeah.
So I thought that was just a little tidbit here. So if you are a new member of the channel, hey, thanks for joining us. Ryan Ripken Show, we're live every Monday through Friday right here. New start time, 3 p.m. 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. right here on YouTube, X, and Facebook. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that join button if you want to be a channel member. We don't bite. We promise. We're not a bad group. We got a lot of good kids. That's the highest compliment you will get from me on this is good kids. We have the better kids that you get the little rip after dark. The lights aren't being turned down low yet, Brad. I'm going to watch my wording with that today.
Hey, we are live from 3 to 5.
We are live from 3 to 5. Get that little jingle here. And before we continue, and we have Miss Lynn Jones join us here at 4:30, we are on a stream. And Zach, why don't we check out
No way.
the auto stream? Whoa!
Hey!
Wow, you're 2 for 2 today, buddy.
I just decided to load them up.
It's amazing what prepared looks like.
Look at that. Look at that. Little snaps for Zach. Snaps for
Hey,
Zach.
well done, sir.
Hey, you know what? We just partnered with AutoStream Car Care Center. They got 10 locations in Maryland here. And one of the deals, which is us trying to help you, you get $50 off any service by just mentioning Ryan Ripken or the Ryan Ripken Show. You can't combine the offers, but just think about it. You got a problem, go into AutoStream Car Care Center, and they will give you $50 off any of those offers. And don't take my word for it. They are fantastic people to work with. And also on top of it, I'll just say this. There's some interesting content with me coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Working behind the scenes. I had my notepad out.
Watch you see the oil get changed for the first time. That was
It's eye-opening.
interesting. Yeah.
Didn't know that that's what happened back there.
Me either.
We're
balancing tires.
I was cleaning some tires earlier too.
Man. If you guys haven't, go out on IG right now and look up the AutoStream IG page. Yes.
I had
And
great
Rip is on it.
note-taking.
Yes.
Great
it was
note-taking.
just content gold out there.
It is it was they're great people.
Yeah.
And like what we try to do here in general, we try to partner with great organizations, great people, and we try to continue to lift up our community moving forward. And heck, one of those groups is Merit Clubs. Spoiler alert, we got more coming with Merit this year.
Let's go.
And really excited about what we're continuing to build here in 2026 and beyond. We are based out of Baltimore, if you don't know us, but we do cover everything from baseball to football and beyond. And we try to have some of the best guests that you can imagine and people that you want to hear from, because I think that they are
That's what we
phenomenal people. So, Ms. Jones, when you're ready, just let me know. Give me a thumbs up behind the scenes when you're ready to rock and roll. Okay, perfect. Well, in case you aren't aware of who Miss Jones is, well, yesterday there was a clip that went viral. So we're going to play that clip shortly during a press conference. And then we're going to bring her on because I think this is just a fascinating conversation. So, Brad, let's play that clip real quickly.
Congratulations on your success, young man.
Thank
You
you.
hold your head up, all right? You guys have had a most magnificent season.
Thank
And you
you.
did a great job out there today.
Appreciate
so you
it.
just hold your head up, okay?
Thank
and
you,
ladies
ma'am.
and gentlemen, Duval, you the one, all
Thank
right?
you, ma'am.
keep it going. We got another season, okay?
I appreciate
Take
it.
care and much continued success to you and the entire team.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, perfect. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring on from the Jacksonville Free Press, Miss Lynn Jones. Miss Jones.
Wow, man, that is amazing. How are you?
We're doing well. How are you doing? It's been quite a last 24 to 36 hours for you, I'd say.
Man, from the Washington Post to Hollywood, man, I'm on a whirlwind tour right now.
Miss
But all
Jones.
is well, and you know I hail from the great. Yes.
Oh, continue on. I'm sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
No, I see. I hail from the great state of Michigan, Detroit, where there would be no sound without Motown. Them Detroit Tigers. They say you a Ripken, young man. You a Ripken?
I am.
Okay. Well, congratulations on your success, your father's success, no doubt.
Well, I appreciate it. And, you know, the reason why I wanted to speak with you for so many different reasons. You know, I've grown up in a baseball family. My dad played, my uncle played, my grandfather coached, and I played professionally and retired up in 2022. And those moments, the 27 seconds that you had and speaking, one of the things that I always tell people is when you have a moment up there, and sometimes it's so vulnerable, right? You have a job. We know you got to go out and play. You need to win. You want to talk about what went wrong. But players and people, and I know I felt this way, they want to feel like they're people at the end of the day. And I just want to tell you that to start off, that I thought that that was really great. And for those that don't know why I think it's more even sentimental, you've cared about your area and community down there in Duval, so you understand what type of year this meant to the Jacksonville community.
Well, it means a lot. We're 13 and 5. I think it's 13 and 5, 13 and 4. Don't get me wrong. We talked about as a small market team. We may be a small market team, but we have big hearts here. Liam came to the podium. He was hurting. He was carrying the weight of the city, his fans, his team, the staff. And you could see him, see it in him, but yeah, I wasn't expecting to say that. And I'm not expecting the whole stadium. I've been a long time. Go on my 6. I got to boom, bam. Start talking to another young man. And him, I'm motivated. So you to the press conference, right? Go back to the press conference, and I'm asking questions again. There's no protocol for a press conference. This is the issue I think everyone's keep talking about. No one provided us a list to say, well, you can't congratulate Liam. You got to say this. You have to say that. And it became my turn. I had not even, my words just came out. Like I said, you could feel the emotions, his emotions. And this our town, people talk about these small market towns, if you're not a Pittsburgh or this or that. The bottom line is you have to win those big games, get the Super Bowl. Detroit, that's my hometown. In a row, we're going to Super Bowl, We never made it because we can't win those big games. But this was a game we wanted to win, but we have to let them know we'll be back next year.
I think that's perfectly said. One thing that I like to point out to people as well is when they're talking about how they would do it, what's the best way to do it. And I think in general, when it comes to – actually, you gave this lesson, Miss Jones, which I think is great, because now for me getting into media, why I got into media when I was done playing is that I wanted to be able to go behind the curtain and have people speak openly, honestly, and feel comfortable that they could trust me. But I think above all, what I learned even from your short moment on Sunday was you are true to yourself no matter what. And I love the fact that you've heard criticism and you've heard everything that could say negative about what's happened, but you said, you know what? I've been doing this for a long time. I'm comfortable with what I'm doing. I'm good at what I'm doing. And you are comfortable with who you are. And for me, I just wanted to tell you, I loved all of that, because that reminded me I need to put forward with that in my life, if that makes sense. I got to stay true to myself. And I thought that was a great message that you unintentionally did by just speaking your mind.
You know, we you know where we are in the country and the society, and I don't have time to play games, man. I've been in this business. I always be honest, like I said, since I was 8 years. You know, I'm gonna say if you write on one more thing, so we all have our destiny. We all know where we're headed. We don't know. Sometimes we don't know where you're being led, where you will go. So see, Lynn, when he came to when he came to Jacksonville, this was his first year here. So you know, we had Jacksonville, you know, it's the county, we're the largest city in mass wise in the United States. So he was not he couldn't even say it, Duval, you know, but we knew it was in his heart. We knew it was in his heart. He has a beautiful family and so forth. And then, you know, everybody wants to tear it down because it politicize what I said. They want to politicize. Congratulations on their success. Okay? The recognition that this coach is receiving right now. How can a coach receive this much recognition and he did not win the game? Did you understand what I'm saying here? Mm-hmm. He didn't even get to the next game. But the recognition and the sensitivity is what's making this story, and me, of course. But at the same time, listen, we all be coming back next year strong.
You are, and they will. And also the other part, what I was saying, you know, we're in Baltimore, and the Ravens obviously are changing coaches up here. The Ravens have changed coaches once in the last 18 years. They've won multiple Super Bowls, and they've had a lot of stability. It's been a rough go for the Jaguars over the last few years and as an organization. And so you got to be able to identify and acknowledge and go, hey, we didn't reach our goals, but man, this was a heck of a run. This was a lot of fun to watch. Yep, came down to the wire, and in an instant, the season's over. But I think also, Miss Jones, of what you're doing, or what you unintentionally did, was remind people, hey, we can have this open conversation. We can be critical, but we also, when we're critical, we can be empathetic. And I thought that was great. And I love everything about it. But before I let you go, one thing I got to say is, if people didn't know about the Jacksonville Free Press, I'm sure they do now. And a lot of eyes are going to be there to support you. But do you mind just real quickly explaining all the great things you have done?
Yes, they do. Oh, believe you me. Yes. Yeah.
Can you hear me, Ms. Jones?
Repeat that?
I was going to say, could you then?
Could you repeat?
Just
Could you repeat it for me?
For sure. I was saying, now that everyone is probably, they didn't know about the Jacksonville Free Press, they do now. But for all work that you do, just for everyone else, that we can spread out the good word of what you are continuing to do down there and what you've already done for the last 25 years.
You want me to elaborate that on a little bit?
Yeah.
What I've done for 25 years.
Yeah, I think just for everyone everyone that can follow you more and all the work that you do.
Woo, that's a lot of work, Rip. That's a lot of work, Rip. No. But the Jacksonville Press, the JacksonvillePress.com. You know, I write into my spiel with one of the more than 230 African-American newspapers printed in this country today. And you're talking about you in Baltimore. What's our black newspaper in Baltimore? We're all in affiliation of the NNPA. So what I've been doing for the last 25 years, a TV show for 10 years, I've interviewed from Barack to Tiger Woods to Terry Bradshaw. So you know, I'm an experienced vet in that. So all I want to do is get the news out this week, do what I need to do, and just be thankful that this has catalyzed this at the same time. And also the dialogue. You know, we talk about it, but you have to pick it apart. Talk about it. Because motivation is needed. You motivate them on the field, don't you? On the field. You motivate them in the locker room. Why can't it be? Oh my God, man! Real. Thank you so much.
Well, we appreciate you, and you are always welcome up here in Baltimore. Would love to show you around more. And I think Jacksonville, I think the Jags come to Baltimore next year. So
Yeah.
I have an open invitation for you to be a guest of us. So I look forward to continuing keeping tabs on you.
Okay, that's a bet. That's a date.
I think that we don't know when it is yet, but hey, let's stay in contact here and we can make it happen.
Thank you so much.
Thank
It's a
you,
done
Miss.
deal.
Hey,
Without
deal.
it, I got you now. Okay.
Perfect. Well, Miss Jones, have a great rest of your
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you so much
I'll
for your
see you.
time. And we'll talk to you soon. Miss Lynn Jones, everybody.
Hey. That was awesome.
And the offer stands for her.
Yeah.
Would love for her to come up to Baltimore. And at the end of the day, for those, again, if you're just tuning in, it was the moment yesterday, where Liam Cohen was asked a question, but it was a remark from Miss Lynn Jones, and it was a moment of empathy. And it created, I've never seen a moment of empathy create so much chaos around the media world here. But the point was, in a time where things can be so negative and critical, as an individual, as a human being, I did love it. I love every second of it. And being on the other side where you've lost and you've been in tough situations, it's nice to hear publicly that someone is saying something else. And that's at the end of the day. This isn't an everyday thing. They're reporting. They know what's at stake. But personally, I thought that was one of the coolest moments here. And for me, it reminded, and I hope it reminds all of you out there, be you. Be authentic to you. And that's going to shine through at the end of the day. And a lot of people will resonate with you being you. So appreciate Miss Lynn Jones. And go check out the Jacksonville Free Press, which I'm sure a lot of people are.
Yeah.
I would love to know how many people are checking out the Free Press now, to say the least.
They need to get somebody donate some internet to them too.
There was a little bit of, I'm hoping we can get the
local recording. I'm hoping that happens.
I'm praying.
Definitely need that. Definitely need that. But that was awesome. I mean, I'm so glad she took the time just to chat with us. I really appreciated that for sure. And I just love her energy. If she takes us up on coming up here, bro, it'll be
Take her
incredible time.
Deal. And I mean every word of it. I would love for her to come up here.
Same.
And she would. I just love.
I love that she just started calling you Rip at the end of it.
Yeah. We're on a nickname basis.
That's
now.
right.
We're on a nickname basis. If you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. So we've had two great guests today. A beat reporter for The Athletic for the Ravens, Jeff Zrebiec, joined us earlier. And then we had just then Miss Lynn Jones of the Jacksonville Free Press talking about what just went down in Duval.
Duval.
Oh, sugar. Am I missing a lot of things? I mean, we
Yes,
covered a lot. What
we are missing something.
What are we missing? Something. Talk to me.
So the Orioles came out with some new promos this year.
Oh, I did just see that.
Did you see this?
I did. While we were about to have the interview.
So if you haven't seen it, there is there is an event that I cannot and will not miss. And it is that there is a Tupac Shakur bobblehead night at Camden Yards this season.
There's. Can you? Is
I have
is there a photo right there?
Yep.
I think I see
Yep.
it.
Yep. There it is.
So this is confirmed. Zach,
Yes.
this is confirmed.
No, it is
It's
confirmed.
confirmed. Orioles posted it.
Yeah, the Orioles posted it.
Dude, it's confirmed, and Nate's giving me the thumbs up back there. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's there. So one of the big things about this is that, and maybe a lot of people don't know, the reason the Orioles decided to do this is because he actually lived in Baltimore for 4 years, from 84 to 88, and I think they went to
The
Baltimore.
School for the Arts.
Baltimore School for the Arts.
Thank you. So just recognizing that, and so for those reasons, there's a Tupac Shakur bobblehead night. And I need me one. There needs to be one on that desk, bro.
I will be honest. I think
Right there next to Calvin.
That one will be a highly coveted bobblehead.
Oh my God.
People
Yes.
might be mad about Birdland memberships and all that, but two things that can cure Orioles fans right now. Two things. One, sign one more pitcher. Go sign a top end pitcher, and then give out that Tupac bobblehead. I think
May 8th is the game.
May 8th.
Yeah.
That is,
I don't even know what to say about it, but
dude, like, it's electric.
I just
It's
need it.
creative.
I just need it.
It's creative. We got to, because we got to get rid of this thing. What the hell is this thing?
No,
It
no,
looks
that stays
great.
out there. Yeah. That's one of the greater bobbleheads.
It is. I got to give him a hard time. Oh, just kidding.
We still got the Rochester one on the pool table.
Yeah, and that's got a giant squash on it. Actually,
Yeah.
it's a huge squash.
Yeah.
Wow, they got the head right on the Rochester one. That thing is massive. Hey, Nate, do you mind just grabbing that bobblehead? Real
Grab that
quickly?
bobblehead. Yeah.
I want the one that's got the massive head.
The only
Yeah.
one on the pool table.
Yeah, that one right there. Nate, we have so much room for activities for Nate upcoming. It's gonna be fantastic. But look at this. Okay, size comparison. I just want to point that out.
That is a genuine bobblehead right
I was
there.
gonna say, I feel like that's an actual bobblehead.
And
Yes.
this
Bobbleheads
is
these
actual
days are-
size. Like that. This is small size. That's more like it.
Yeah, proportion.
Yeah.
As far as proportions go, that is definitely accurate.
Yeah. Will the Orioles sign another pitcher? Well, bobblehead Cal said it.
Oh, shit. We're clipping that.
Clubbing it. Hey, this one goes too fast though. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't like that one. This one's definitely better, Zach.
Oh
I
my
just wish the
God.
helmet went on that one.
Yeah.
That would have been the only thing that made that one better, is if the Iron Man helmet could have been.
Oh! I just had a crack.
Also,
in the-
that looks nothing like Calvin.
Well, this was back in.
Oh, I know. But like, what, 80? 1980? 80?
Yeah, he's a good kid. Well,
What?
actually, no, that's been recent.
Oh,
I love
that was recent?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
it was
okay.
relatively recent.
Oh, okay. Because he pulled it out of everything else, right?
Yeah, he brought that out. I mean, like it's been around for a while. It's
Oh, okay.
probably
But not 40 years old.
yeah, it's been a while since I could.
Nope. Okay.
Zach doesn't know that song. Hold my head up high.
He
No,
doesn't know that song.
Well, I was gonna bring up one last topic once, because I do want your opinion on this.
no.
Marcus Spears was asked earlier today. This is not a video. This is just on Twitter, where he thinks, because of all the drama, AJ Brown ends up next year, and his answer:
Oh, I don't want this.
I'll be.
There's a
I don't
lot
want
of
this.
drama. I understand that, and I'm going to be honest with you. If this was a John Harbaugh-led team, I'd say absolutely not. But I would be lying if my mind did not wander and think of Clint Kubiak coming into a system with Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, and AJ Brown. They need something. They need something, but
you shut up back
Bills
there.
hate wide receivers.
Zach, you shut
Bills
up
hate
back
wide
there. I
Bills
mean,
do.
hey,
I think there's a genuine chance, because Baltimore, like, let's not kid ourselves about this Super Bowl window. Yes, I believe as long as Lamar's the quarterback, they have a chance. You got to capitalize soon. You got to capitalize and talk about putting the chips in the I don't know how much it's going to cost. I think a second or third rounder.
I don't like it, Jim.
I don't know, Jim. Except Nate's up there creating propaganda. Bills are going to get A.J. Brown.
Listen, interns don't get to talk.
Hey, hey, you know what? What we're going to do as part of the sequence, we're going to – Nate hasn't gotten a full go at Ollie playing Papa Shot.
Yes, actually, that should be a punishment. Playing Papa Shot.
Not a punishment. It's a rite of passage.
That is a rite of passage for sure. A horned up Ollie over the Papa Shot.
Where did Ollie go? Ollie. Oh, my dog's here somewhere, Nate?
Yeah, he's somewhere. We got to just for context purposes.
Oh, he's laying underneath.
Ollie gets kind of
he gets frisky when
angry.
No, so the same thing. If I go to give Jamie a hug, or I go to maybe crack Jamie's back, Ollie will jump up, but he won't go after me. He just goes after Jamie.
Ollie,
so it's the same thing with
straight
Papa
up
Shot.
Mouth hugged me in the ass cheek when I was playing Papa Shot.
A lot of love.
Yeah,
we're all about love here.
He didn't bite me, but definitely open mouth and butt cheek.
It was just
my ass.
It's a lot of love.
Yeah,
it's a lot of love. That's
anytime you play the Papa Shot.
That's how we teach it. It's how not biting, not ass bites, but we teach love. Zach might teach it right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it's I don't have a ring right now that says love, but I will get a ring that says love.
Hey, there you go.
Maybe I'll get a flower vase that says love. Zach, did it say love?
It does.
It was made with
saying
love.
It.
It was made with love.
Made with love.
There it is. Write
Made
that
with
down.
Love. I will say I'm trying to. So this is crazy, but so Sean McVay, this is going to be his 15th career playoff game coaching, and not just as a head coach. And the Bears will be his 15th different team faced. He's never faced another team. He's faced the Falcons in 2017, Cowboys in 2018, Saints in 2018, Patriots 2018, Seahawks 2020, Packers 2020, Cardinals 21, Buccaneers 21, 49ers 21, Bengals 21, Lions 23, Vikings 24, Eagles 24, Panthers 25, Bears 25. 15 playoff games against 15 different teams.
That's crazy.
That's actually really
that the more you know.
That'll never happen ever.
No, that's I don't know. Who is that more of an I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that stat.
I don't either, but it's still a crazy.
I don't know.
Stat.
Is that talking about parity in the NFL, or is it I just don't know how to approach that?
How do we go through that?
I don't know.
I'm not mad. I'm not.
I guess it helps when your
impressed.
First three were against the Falcons, Cowboys, and Saints because you don't have to worry about them in the.
Speaking of the Falcons, they did complete the interview with John Harbaugh about an hour ago.
They did, and other reports are saying that he might like the Titans. I don't know.
The Titans.
There's a lot.
He's going to the Giants. Okay, there's no better option for John Harbaugh to go than to go to the Giants. You're not going to the Raiders with that dysfunction. No. You're not going to the Brownies. That ain't happening either. I don't know if I were John Harbaugh, if I would mess around with that front office in Nashville either.
Well, it's a new front office.
No. But the ownership
yeah.
is still there, and I don't want any parts of that.
So it's really the ones that people are wondering about. What's going to happen here? Browns and Titans, as far as when you're looking at other factors, and that's what we're talking about, organizational factors.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? No, I'm going with you on that.
Yeah.
So then it aligns with.
It ain't Miami because Miami's also kind of a mess.
But they did hire a new head GM down there.
But still got to deal with Ross.
The two teams, if you're trying to win right meow and have talent on both sides, Falcons, Giants. Giants, rookie quarterback, second year, third overall pick.
Malik Neighbors is coming back next year.
And then you have an opportunity, not that I want this to happen because I'd be really sad if he left, but you have a chance to have Jackson Dart, Cam Scattaboo, and then go pluck Pat Ricard and put him in as your fullback. And that trio is going to come up with one hell of a nickname if that happens.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll be sad about it, but I'll also kind of be fired up because that would be absolute mayhem. Oh, and then by the way, Malik Neighbors, talent-wise, he is is it fair to say we agree he's a top 6 talent? You could even say top 5 talent as a wide receiver?
A healthy Malik Neighbors is a top 3 wide receiver. It's Justin Jefferson, Chase Chase, and yes,
And then you
Jamar
put-
Chase, and then Malik Neighbors. Those are the three. Name me a better wide receiver than a healthy Malik Neighbors outside of those two.
Who are the other two?
Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson,
Ever heard
and
of
then
them?
it's Malik Neighbors.
Ever heard of those guys?
I mean,
Jamar Chase has only averaged 185 yards. against the
You could make
Ravens.
the argument for a JSN.
JSN I got up there. He's top 3 for me. I put Neighbors talent-wise, I put his talent in the top 4. If he was healthy next year, I think he'd be a top 6 receiver.
Puka.
Okay.
CeeDee Lamb's up there.
Okay, so that'd be 5.
I think
CeeDee Lamb over Malik Neighbors?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think Malik
the
hasn't
two
done
that I'm not
enough
gonna
yet to
include,
see.
I think JSN and Amon-Ra St. Brown, while both very talented and get a lot of stats, I think systematically they are schemed up very, very well. If I'm talking about the best, I'm talking about, okay, one-on-one, kind of like a go route. Who do you trust? I agree. I think Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, 1-2. I think Jamar's the best. Puka is just really good. And I will say this. We want to talk about something that's really cool. We've talked literally all the guys that we just mentioned, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Puka, Malik Neighbors, Amon-Ra. You can throw Nico Collins in. The oldest one in that group is Amon-Ra, CeeDee Lamb, and Justin Jefferson, I guess, and Nico Collins, all 26. So there's a ton of young receiver talent
Just
in the
ridiculous.
National Football League.
And they're all in their prime.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good things going on here. A lot of good things, a lot of good players. A lot of things can play out. But that's what John has to work with, though. When we're saying a lot of things, a lot of good players, a lot of things to play out. Malik Neighbors, whatever you want to decide on where he falls, he's a pretty damn good player.
Oh, yeah.
And so you'd be having him as a very good player on your team. Jackson Dart, Scattaboo, and Tyrone Tracy's a beast too. So, I mean, they got some pieces. Brian Burns on the other side. You don't think Tyrone Tracy's a beast?
Tyrone Tracy isn't getting me to go to the Giants.
No.
He is a
But
very
it's
good.
a good
they got
offense. You got a couple tight ends
They
that
got a
work
good,
out well.
a good young defense as well. I mean, like the Giants are not far away from being, contenders, or at least making the playoff game or two.
It's not out of the question that the Giants could do what the Commanders did 2 years ago.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If you believe in Dart and you have arguably some better defensive pieces,
So long as Dart doesn't kill himself.
and you have a third over, yeah, that's true. You have the third overall pick this year, so you can get a high chip guy. It's the 4th. No, don't. Yeah, fact check me. What do we got?
Yeah, Giants
5?
Giants
It's
have
the
the
5th?
5th because it's Raiders, Jets,
Either way.
Titans. No. Cardinals, Titans, Giants.
They hold the number
Yeah.
5 pick.
Yeah.
That's why Nate's here. Zach.
Yeah. You see, I know.
Yeah, see, he already knows. Nate just knows.
I've been too locked in on mock drafts in the top because I think the Ravens need to trade up for Ruben Bain, but that's a whole nother discussion.
That's for a whole different
Yeah,
day.
yeah, we're not
whole
getting
different
to
day. But before we get out of this stream, we got to take one more stream. Zach.
Hey.
Oh, look at that handsome fellow. Well, guys, our friends over at AutoStream Car Care Center, say that 10 times fast. Help us help you. They got 10 locations around Maryland. And if you have any car issues and you go there and say, hey, I'm having some issues, and I saw that you guys are working with Ryan Ripken and the Ryan Ripken Show, $50 off any service. You can't match them with already offers that are out there, but $50 just for whatever you need right there. I think that's a pretty damn good deal. I'm just saying. Go check them out. They're great people. And if you love to see some great is it acting? No, because I lived it. I was there. If you want to see some
good content,
a great student of the game, student of the car industry game.
That's a good way to put it.
Then go check out that Ryan Ripken Show on Instagram, Facebook. And also keep in mind as well, guys, follow everything on X, Instagram, Facebook, follow on YouTube, getting TikTok, rocking and rolling. And then who knows, Nate might have a shirt up our sleeve to have a Ryan Ripken Show page. I don't know. Just on clips, but not only the good clips, not the bad clips.
Okay.
What?
I
Turn the lights down low. You want it? Am I throwing something to you?
Hey, Kelly. Hey, Kelly. What?
Laura, Zach. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was like, did she walk in?
I was just saying we're clips. That
two
was one of the
things.
clips I wanted to.
Two things before
Reference.
One, the game we love and know is officially dead.
What happened?
Ty Simpson was offered $6.5 million to return to college next year and forgo the NFL.
Holy shit.
That's unreal. He's also has 3 other offers from other SEC teams, all above $4 million.
Oh my God.
And then are we doing best bet of the day?
Yeah. Are you feeling frisky? Do you have one for me?
Of course.
Well, let's take a quick trip.
There's not a day that goes by that Zach's not betting on something.
Death, taxes, and Bali's going to have a bet. Let's take a quick trip up to our friends at Hollow Casino at Charlestown Races. Hey! West Virginia.
It's simple. It's simple. Playoff times, get the ball to your best players and get to them often, I think.
Nico Collins.
Oh, yeah. Nico Collins over 71.5 receiving yards. I think he gets one deep ball tonight at least. He's going to get opportunities. CJ Stroud loves to air it out right now. I think the Steelers, they're more formidable against the run. We'll see if Woody Marks and the Texans can get that going, but we've seen the Steelers, especially against the Ravens, they give up some big plays.
Oh, yeah.
And Nico Collins, if you give him an opportunity, he's going to make a big play. So Nico Collins over 71.5 receiving yards. Let's lock it in.
I have a question, Zach.
Yeah.
That photo, it looks like a very bulking Nico Collins.
I did zoom in on it a lot to fit in, so it might be, but
I mean,
still.
that looks like Nico Collins, the running back.
Yeah. What was his height and weight at?
I don't know.
At Michigan. Because he definitely says he's 6'4", 222, but there's no way he was that at Michigan.
I mean, that's basically what Rip is.
Excuse me?
Just a lot. Rip.
Ripped with Rip. Oh, I can't wait for all of us to get ripped with Rip this year. But yeah, Nico Collins, that's
solid.
Solid dude.
Yeah.
Solid dude. And you know what? All of you are going to be pretty rock solid here for 2026. Because you know what we're focusing on? That really didn't come out right.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm calling HR. What did we just?
Holy shit. That was some Rip after dark.
Yeah, there goes the demonetization.
Fuck.
Definitely have to hit not for kids now on the clip.
Oh my God.
The point was.
We got the point.
No.
It was just crazy to say it now.
That's not the point.
It's just crazy to bring it up now.
No, we just were trying to get. What did I tell Greg Olson? You're trying to be a brick shit house, shit brick house.
And I get that part, but just the rock hard part, you lost me.
I said rock solid,
whatever.
Solid. Yeah, we're trying to get Merritt. I'm sorry. I was just trying to say, we got some plans this year, and we appreciate you guys. We appreciate Merritt clubs. Holy hell! Look the other way. Look over there. Don't look at me. I wouldn't want to look at me either. Okay. All right. Cue the music. Get us out of here. Oh no. As always here on the Ryan Ripken Show, we appreciate each and every one of you. Have a day, have a night, have a great stinking rest of your Monday, but stop traffic, get back up and join us tomorrow. So we'll be live here from 3 to 5 on YouTube, X, and Facebook. Holy smokes.
I don't know.
Forgive me, Father, for I've sinned.